it's a way to learn how to make things right, because on a real life situation, there's no turning back. Recruits have to learn what are they going to do on a real life situation so that when they are out on the battlefield, they have to accomplish the mission from the first time without any casualties.
I'm tired and exhausted, hungry. Only thing really getting me through is tomorrow's getting the Eagle Globe and Anchor.
The Eagle Globe and Anchor, the Marine Corps symbol. The payoff at the end of the Crucible, a ceremony where recruits will be given the emblem and called Marines for the first time. In the evening, the full company rehearses the ceremony.
Something I've wanted my whole life, the EGA, the Eagle Globe and Anchor. It's something I've looked outside my window in my barracks and seen every Saturday morning, wishing, oh, I wish that was me, and now it is me. So tomorrow morning, I'm probably gonna cry. Tomorrow morning is gonna be probably the best feeling I've ever had.
He won't be alone, but there are more ordeals to come. First, a night infiltration course on a pitch-dark night with no moonlight and that ever-encouraging staff.
Push it away from your body and get out of the war!
In the early morning hours, a 9-mile march back to the main post. The company arrives famished and exhausted as dawn is breaking.
The hardest part for me was the 9-mile march back from the end of the Crucible. We had a 115-pound LB pack on, and I was slacking behind. And I started going, my mind started wigging out on me. I didn't know what to do. I thought I wasn't gonna make it.
Then, in formation around Paris Island's Iwo Jima statue, the ceremony they've waited for almost 3 months. They're about to receive that treasured emblem.
Now the chill you feel run down your spine is a symbolic fusion of our core values into your souls forever. From this day forward, you will be the guardian of our country, our core, our customs, and our courtesies. May God keep each and every one of you in the palm of his hands. Semper Fidelis.
The recruits reaffirmed their enlistment oath.
The Uniform Code of Military Justice.
The Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Arms down.
And then, with the Marine anthem playing softly, drill instructors present each recruit with an Eagle Globe and Anchor emblem, congratulate him for completing training, and for the first time, call him Marine. No spectators, no crowd. Only men who've endured the last 11 grueling weeks of training together. It's a group experience and an intensely personal moment. Many feel proud.
Like you're standing taller than anybody else. Like you're head and shoulders over most people. You accomplished the largest goal of your life. It was the greatest feeling in my life.
Many are emotionally overcome.
People said they weren't gonna cry, and when they actually got it, the water started pouring. It's from the worst recruit to the best, to the ones that hid in the shadows, to the ones that made their name for themselves. Every single one shed a tear.
When they put it in your hand and tell you to hold it close to your heart and say, "Job well done, Marine," that's the best feeling I've ever had in my life.
They're no longer recruits, they're Marines singing their anthem.
Senior drill instructors, take charge of your new Marines and feed them a warrior's breakfast.
In the reserves or the guard, the guys come in and they stay for a long time, 8, 10, 12 years, you know, so, and then you go through a war together. You go through this experience together, and you become a brotherhood, you become like a family, you know.
I've served with these guys for years. So when we went out there, it really meant a lot because there was not much of you had to learn how the other guy acts or works. You knew it.
On his website, Basil has put together a music video about the deployment, blending his cartoons with stills and home video. Company F is a specialized unit.
Long-range surveillance. Worked in 6-man teams. Sometimes we did 2 teams.
The missions were intense, but there was also plenty of downtime.
Equipment I had was very crude, but any chance I got, I just threw some strips down. The guys seemed to like it, so and I enjoyed them liking it.
Oh, I thought it was cool. It was great.
Basil had been doodling and drawing since childhood. The strip is named after a street he grew up near in Detroit. He started Gunston Street before Company F even got orders for deployment.
And obviously, the main focus was the missions. To get some comic relief if I could draw something up. Yeah.
The main character is named Phil, after Basil's dad, and he's drawn to look like Phil, too.
Immortalized? Yeah. I really enjoy it because people recognize, they look at this picture and they say, that's you.
But the experiences are those of Basil and his team.
There's really nothing in there that's made up or fake. You know, it's funny stuff, but funny stuff happens during wars and whatnot. I've received tonight's mission.
Eric Hennings was team leader.
Mission takes place at 22:30. We're leaving out of gate 9. We'll head east on IED Alley for 3 clicks. We'll then cross IED Alley to the north side, and then skirt for 2-3 clicks, setting up our observation point off of IED Alley. Any questions?
I have a question. I understand I'm not in charge of anything, and that our missions are determined by a bunch of officers that never leave the wire. But is there any way possible that we could consider avoiding this so-called IED alley?
It's kind of fun when they see it and they bitch, oh God, that's not me, so I get a kick out of that.
He captures everybody real good. It makes light of a lot of situations that, weren't funny at the time, but now you can look back and laugh at it,
Sergeant Walter Crump, called Dirty within the team, appears in the strip as Crump, and Staff Sergeant Chris Cesney is named Cesney.
When I first went into basic training, a good friend of mine told me you just gotta laugh sometimes when it gets really crazy. And that's kind of the same thing, if you got something, you see other people going through the same thing, and you can laugh about it. It makes it a lot easier.
This could pertain to so many different things. So many things are so stupid. You're just like, am I gonna ask this question or is somebody else smarter than me gonna ask this? But
are you taking your snowshoes?
It's a little warm in Iraq, stupid.
There's a strong military tradition in the Savitsky family. Basil served with his father in the Michigan National Guard for years, and grandfather Jim Etherton was with the 82nd Airborne in Europe during World War II. He learned to appreciate the joy cartoons can bring to the front lines.
In the Airborne, World War II, everyone looked for the Stars and Stripes every month. I was over there for over 18 months. I got 2 letters. I moved around so much that the mail never caught up with me.
Basil writes some strips about communications with home. His wife Lena does the lettering for Gunston Street and corrects his frequent misspellings. She says working on the strip has helped her understand his deployment.
He wants to get his experience out to everybody, let everyone know, what he's gone through. And the exposure, it's not about money. It's just about, hey, this is Basil Savitsky. These are my comics. You like them, fine. If you don't.
But he believes you really can't make this stuff up.
Any funny strip, the best ones I got, have to be based in reality. If I was trying to force something and trying to create something, if it's not based in some kind of reality, it will show.
He always has a small notebook within reach to record ideas or recollections as they strike him.
I'll write down 50 ideas or more, and then out of 50, I'll probably use 3. I got some strips here I've been sitting on for over a year because the punchline ain't right. But the creative process there's no set structure. I just write down a note, look at it, and like, hey, cool, that's funny. And if it ain't, well, can't hit them out of the ballpark every time.
Basil calls his method old school. He sketches and inks everything by hand before scanning it into the computer and posting it on his webpage. Most artists do at least part of the process electronically these days. He's proudest of one extended set of strips that isn't meant to be funny. It recounts a mission when the team was assigned to convoy duty. It's drawn in a more realistic style and has some of the pop, boom, pow quality of adventure comics.
I did a small graphic novel type, and I got some satisfaction out of that. Just trying a different technique. It was fun, you know. Just I got to expand a little bit.
The team was ambushed twice in the course of the mission, coming under heavy fire each time. Everyone came through the night fine, but conveying the experience was an important step for Basil.
Because it took me out of my comfort zone of just the comedy aspect, and it gave me a chance to do something else. I'd have to say I was pretty satisfied with that.
The next strip in the series was a return to the regular cartoon characters and a tribute to Bill Malden.
I was glad he's out there. His work is outstanding, and I still read it today. I look at it, I don't read it.
Phil and Eric are speaking after the mission.
Wow, that was crazy. I thought we were dead. We were taking fire from everywhere. Trucks burning, RPGs, you name it. I was glad to see you guys show up.
You guys telling war stories?
I'm just happy to be alive. You wouldn't understand. You just had to be there.
You'd be amazed by what we understand.
It's universal. The same problems we had, they're having right now. And they had 20 years ago, 50 years ago. I mean, some in the Army never changes.